One of the major challenges we have as humans is the mindset of religion. Religion comes with, the notion of control. Now, religion also has a positive side and negative side. Talking about positive religion deals with a way of life that is right, just doing the right thing, not because you are forced or cajoled or compelled, but because you understand in your spirit and in your heart that doing the right thing will help humanity. That is a religion that is pure, doing the right thing. Like Jesus said, or Yeshua said, meeting the needs, what he told the rich young ruler, he said, just go sell your properties, take care of the poor, and come follow me. That means be selfless, be concerned about other people, and follow after the path of truth. That's all. So when we think about self and think of how we can harness the the doctrine of control over other people negatively, that is when religion takes a negative turn to cause mayhem, to cause lots of troubles and circumstances that are debilitating and decapitating to the standards of morality and the standards of human existence. Today we have lots of situations all over the world that has proven that religion, in the bad light of it, in the negative side, is critically dangerous to us all. Most of you don't understand that even in politics, religion is basically a tool of control. Religion necessarily does not mean going to church or going to the mosque. Religion is about a control mechanism that is embedded in a spiritual narrative or connotation used as a means of controlling the minds of the people, because you have to make them feel that if they don't do what you are telling them to do, there is a spiritual repercussion or spiritual action that is coming that will destroy them. Whether by force or by manipulation or deception, you control the minds of the people to get into that realm. And the problem we have is that a majority of us were actually born in that negative religious atmosphere or environment, and it was easy for us to pass it on to the next generation, and pass it to the next generation and pass it to the next generation. Today we talk about forefathers or ancestors. Some of them were birthed or were groomed in the narrative of religion, and they passed it on to most of their children and keep passing it on from generation to generation, because whatever you have been able to take in is like what we say in the computer language: garbage in, garbage out. What you get in is what you can give out. You can never showcase or give what you don't have. It is what you have you can give. So in attitude, in actions, in behaviors, and everything you do, the only thing you can give out is the narrative of what you have. That's it. So, but of course, we have, as human beings, been given the opportunity to reason out everything, even if we come to the point of error or the point of realization that what we have been doing is wrong, or all of that. We're able to look at things critically by the intellectual side of us, which God has given to us, to understand and weigh them by, or measure them by the natural principles of life, and see if what we are doing is correct. And the only way to measure them rightly is to say to ourselves, this thing I want to do right now, or this action I want to take right now, this way I am going right now, if this is done to me right now, if this action is taken against me, is it going to, will I like it? Whatsoever you would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. So the only way to measure the standard of what you are doing, whether it is right or wrong, is to ask that big and critical question. If this is done to me, will I like it? Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention, because he's fighting for freedom for his people, every Biafran or the Igbo nation. The Igbo nation does not mean only the Igbos anyways. It talks about other people, because that's what we're called all over the nations of the world. They call us all Igbos, as long as you're in that eastern region and part of the west and part of the middle belt, because they have divided us and kept us at different points. But I want to make you understand this. that the greatest problem or challenge that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has right now is the challenge of having a team that will work with him very, very effectively, that would go with the vision as he has received it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has proven himself to be genuine, and no doubt about that. No doubt about that. Nobody, no right-thinking person will doubt that. Will doubt it. That's the truth. No right-thinking person. Let's be reasonable for once. Let's just be truthful for once. No right person will think about. No right-thinking person will dispute that, anyways. Asking for freedom and asking for the freedom of your people. I wonder why people, even the people who are suffering, who are in the same, who are being deprived and who are being depraved and who are being abused by the British standard of nationhood or countryhood or whatever it is called, which is the template of Nigeria, because that's the standard of what they feel that we are worth. They see our worth as a jumble of a particular business construct designed in the context of a country, to woo us to believe that we are actually in a country, whereas we have our nations. Now, even those kinds of people who are in that same trap that Britain has kept all of us are still fighting the people who are fighting for everybody to be free. When you go to social media, you see some comments, or you read out some comments that people make about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You begin to wonder. He wants to divide Nigeria. Is Nigeria yours? Are you a Nigerian? Don't you reason? You are from Yoruba land and you say you are a Nigerian. How can you be a Yoruba man and be a Nigerian? How many people in the countries of the nations of the world have you heard having two nationalities? And besides, the Nigerian narrative or Nigeria is not a nationality. It is a business construct, a business name used by the British to keep all the nations in that territory within the Nigeria, territory, within that Nigeria area, or what, Niger area. That's what it is, the Niger area, and they call them Niger area. They just use it as a means of qualifying the people living there, which of course from the initial company that was registered, Royal Niger Company, and then converted to be that, so that it will be that they are telling you they have given you a nation, they have allowed you to rule yourself, but they are controlling you using that business name that is registered Nigeria to take your resources, don't you see that you have so much natural resources you could take care of? You can even feed Britain, but yet they are controlling you financially and otherwise. In fact, they are coming to give you aids and grants. They are offering you scholarships. You when you go to their land, you are happy, you are feeling big and feeling high, you have arrived. When you travel to UK or London, you feel that, oh, you have arrived. You try to suppress your family members, whereas you are supposed to be feeding them. Don't you know that the standard and the wealth of Britain and most of these Western nations come from your land? And they gave you a name, and it is that name they're using to take your resources, because that name qualifies you to be under them. If you say you have given people their freedom, then why are you refusing to take away the name that is put on them because they were slaves? That's the big question. Why? Because the only way I can be assured that I am free is when you take away everything that you have used to bound me. The name Nigeria was used to bound Yorubas and Hausas, Igbos, and other tribes together. And the reason for that that binding of them is to carry out an administrative program in siphoning their resources, taking what belongs to them. So if you say you've given my freedom, the first thing you do is to take the name away from me. Allow me to bear my original name, an Igbo man, a Yoruba man, an Hausa man, a Ibibio man, and all of that. Allow me to be identified with my nation. Then that begins my freedom. That begins the sign, the evidence that I'm free. And then I can now begin to develop as I go. Then if you want to do business with me, you do it on the right platter. And all of that. But today, they're taking our gold, they're taking our diamonds, they're taking our oil, they're taking everything that belonged to us. And they kept the name Nigeria. And when you are asking, you want to be out of it, they refuse. When anyone who is going, if there's going to be an election, they bring the people who are claiming or who want to take positions in the contraption in that particular narrative of Nigeria, which is a business name. They bring them to Chatham House and they tell them what they want, put them under oath, and get them to understand that this is what you have to do. If you don't do it, we're coming after you. And then they impose those people on you, and then you become a slave. Why don't we reason for once? Why would you be fighting those who are helping or trying to make you free? Why would you be fighting Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Why are you fighting Nnamdi Kanu, whether you're Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, or whoever you are? Why are you fighting him? What he's doing is to ask for freedom. You don't know you are bound? Is it that you are so dumb that you don't even know that you are? The argument is funny. Sometimes when you listen to some of these people who are fighting against those who are talking about freedom, you begin to wonder how they reason. The argument is that, as Nigeria, we are better off, we are bigger. How can you? Is it by the size of the land or what? Or by the number of people? In fact, let me tell you something. Those of you who don't understand, the truth here is every land that belong to each nation, whether the Yoruba nation, the Hausa nation, and all that, have their natural resources. If each of them go to manage their natural resources, they will be richer. But if you leave it under the narrative of Nigeria, then it will be shared amongst the people who are stakeholders, not the people of the nations, no, the people who are controlling the nations. That means Britain and the politicians who are put there to control the people and take their resources. So little comes to you, more go to the politicians and to Britain. But if you are free, when you are free, let me use when you are free, you would naturally control your resources, and because you are fewer, or because it is just within your nation, you would be able to manage it within your territory and for it to touch the lives of each person in that nation. That is the benefit. That is what it is. Why are we afraid of this? Why are we scared of? Why do you think that when Nigeria breaks, you will lose your business, you will lose your political position, you will lose this, you will lose that? These are things you will get better if you support your freedom. In fact, serving under Nigeria as a politician and fighting with the people and using that opportunity to join the people to get your people to be free, they will see you as a potential leader. Your political position will not be taken from you. In fact, they will want you to be, they will say, wow, you used your position as a Nigerian politician to fight that will be free. This time around, they are going to now see to it that you retain your position and you will make more, because the resources are no more being taken by Britain and other people. The resources remain in your nation. And then, so you have more to go around. You have more to go around. But because of the greed of our people, under Nigeria, they don't report things well. They don't have accountability. They don't have transparency. You can steal as much as you want to steal. Nobody checks you. And because people are greedy and are used to stealing and thinking that stealing is the only way they can survive, they want to get more than any other person. They want every other person to be impoverished so that they can be on top. That is why we are here where we are. The reason why most of the people abroad want to dominate their families, because they feel that when they travel abroad, they look at it, the average mindset when you travel abroad, you are now in control. So you can now become, so when you come, you want your father to worship you, your brothers to worship you, your sisters to worship you, your relatives to worship you, your village people to worship you. You buy a particular car, you work hard, do all the odd jobs, buy a very serious car, and just come in. As you're coming, you want them to worship you, then you begin to take advantage of the girls around. For the men now, but for the women, they take advantage of other people, even men too. Even the women chase the men too, the men chase the little girls because they know they're impoverished. They use money. So you see, our mindset of negatively controlling people has affected us. So Britain knows about it. They know that we only think of self. They know that we are only thinking of our selfish ends. They know that we are not concerned about ourselves. They know we are greedy. They know we are selfish. So they capitalize on that, take some of us who are greedy, give us the positions, and empower us with the weapons and all of that to fight the others and suppress the others, because they know that you would want to sustain your position so that people can worship you. Look at the way our politicians operate. If you go to Britain and UK and US and other places, the way their politicians are being treated, it's not the same way we treat our politicians here. In fact, ordinary local government chairman, you can't even come close to him. In fact, the entourage. But if you go to Europe, you see parliamentarians going through normal, they take train, they move on the streets. Normal life. They, at least to an extent, there's a level they can go in, they are stealing. But in Africa, it is beyond what you can ever expect. And this is because Britain recognized that we are very greedy. So they need to keep Nigeria together, to use the greedy ones to keep taking the resources on their behalf and bring to them and then take their share. So they put the people who control that Nigeria, and then those ones will take the resources, give to Britain, and then take their share. So as long as their share keep coming to them, they want everything to remain, the status quo to remain, and people keep suffering. That is what we are facing today. Today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is there. Why? Not because he cannot be freed, but because the same people whom he is fighting for, the people, the Igbos, are the ones who are telling the government of Tinubu not to release him, are the ones who are making it easier for Britain to be quiet and not say anything about his freedom, are the ones who are making sure. Look at the Ezigbo in Lagos who was recently released and the things he said. His own people were the ones saying that they will make sure he dies there. So you see that we are in a big mess. Our minds have been battered and destroyed. We're in a critical situation. Yesterday I made a broadcast. I was talking about how critical it is for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The challenge before him now is not getting out of cell or getting out of prison, not cell. He's in prison, in the dungeon. The challenge is not how to get out of that dungeon, because he will get out. Chukwuki will bring him out. He will come out very soon. The challenge is having the right people work with him in the circle of leadership to help the people come out of it. And I know that Chukwuki, who is going to bring him out, will help him and direct him to get the right mind people, the right people around him who will work with him to see that people are free. Because the problem is so huge. The situation is so drastic and terrible. And there is a need for a critical overhauling of the mindset of the people. And Chukwuki will help us. Look at what is happening. Look at how Simon and his group, look at what they are doing. Look at, I told you guys the other time that he's going to go down, before the end of the year, and another set of people will come and begin to talk about money and all of that, and they will capitalize on it, and he will go down in a way that it will look like, hey, if not that I am here, I would have given you freedom. And look at it. Before the 2nd of December, he goes off the stage. He creates impression to put himself in a situation to create chaos. He wanted chaos to come out by all means, so that in the midst of the chaos, people will now begin to say, yes, he's fighting to make sure freedom comes. Yes, he's fighting, and chaos will be in Biafra land. Everywhere will be chaotic. People will fight. They will say, yes, they are fighting to make sure that Biafra comes. That is what he promised. He said it must come, and that's what they are doing. But it's now backfired. He's now in jail in Finland. He never knew that Finland would actually take action against him, and now he's in jail. Now his followers, his henchmen are busy. This group wants it, the other group wants it. That tells you that the purpose of all of this stuff is not about the people. It's about the greedy nature of these few people who are coming together. Are these the people who are going to give you freedom? These greedy people? Are these the people who are going to control government? These selfish people? Look at the accountability and transparency group. I was standing this, we have to do the right thing. We have said this is what we're going to do. We're going to follow the voice of the people. Some people say no, that we have to be the ones in control. Why are you making things difficult? Let things be. We need to put somebody there to control. We said no. When we started this, we said nobody's going to be in control. No, we have to let somebody be in control. No, we said no. And they said no. And then, before you know it, somebody has come to defraud us. And somebody says, hey, I'm the one who brought him. Let's just allow him to complete. No, he has defrauded us. We know he has defrauded us. Take him away. Let's get somebody in our midst who can even do it cheaper. Even if this one has defrauded us, this one will do it cheaper, far lesser than what we're even owing that person that has defrauded us. because we're still owing that person a huge amount of money. And this one is telling us, just bring a little because it's within us. Just bring a little and let me just do this job for you. And then the person says, the person who brought the person who defrauded, he's saying that no, we have to still use that person because it will tell it is my image, my reputation is at stake. Your reputation? You brought someone who came to defraud us and you're talking about reputation. So you want the person to feel that yes, you have power in this group, so nobody can take the person away. Is this the kind of mindset of people that want to lead? So reputation, somebody's talking about reputation in the midst of criminality. You bring someone into the system to help to do work, we pay the person defrauds us and gives us something different from what we paid for. And then we say, no, we have to take the job and give to somebody else. You say, no, for your reputation, we have to still put the person, so that maybe because the person will think that you don't have power and control in the group. So you want the person to still remain so that it will be that, yes, in spite of everything, you have power and all of that, and you are relevant in the group. Is that why we are together? And when I stood against it, it became a problem. Today they are busy gossiping. In fact, the women are worse. The women and men. Men who should, I'm talking about men who claim to be respectable, elderly, gossiping. What are they gossiping? You don't know. Ask the root of their gossips. You begin to wonder, what are they talking about? Hey, Kelechi is in the other project to rob people. Hey, Kelechi is he's this, he's the ladies. I'm not one who wants to bring people down. That's why sometimes I just restrict on saying some things, because there are some things I'll say, those ones who are gossiping will go silent. So maybe they are going around gossiping because they feel that I have said something. I'm not that kind of person. I don't go around destroying people. If I have a discussion with you privately, I can come in public and begin to expose you because you wronged me. No, I'm not that kind of person. But our people are dangerous. Once you have a disagreement and you maybe you're no more together, they go behind and they want to destroy you. They want to bring you down by all means. There's one lady right now. She was very close to me. She's going all around trying to bring me down by all means. I'll just keep laughing. If I come out to say something about her now, it will just rubbish her and destroy her. Yeah, I just let it go. Let her keep fooling herself. They're just fooling themselves. Is that the freedom? Are these the kinds of people who are going to be around Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? That is the challenge we have. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu need real people. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu need real people, and Chukwu will help him. Look at Simon's group. Look at even the platform of the DOS. We have people within who sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they have not been exposed yet. So how can you work with such group? But every time we are on social media talking, and every time we are writing statements, we are making press releases. Is that what it is about? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is there not because Nigeria government can keep it, but because our people sold him and holding him there. If the DOS is formidable and their hands are clean, I'm not saying everybody's hand there is not clean. There are some people who don't know about it anyways. Maybe they are also guessing, but they can't say because they don't have evidence. But some people know what I'm saying. If everybody's hand there is clean, especially those ones who can influence things in that place, if their hands are clean, they will give ultimatum to the governors and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released. But because they have compromised in one way or the other, even the governors don't listen to them. So the governors, align with the Nigerian authorities to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there because it pays them more. Security votes and all of that will be coming to them. They don't need to account for that. So they make more money having Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in detention than letting him out. That's what is happening. And then they give little to all these ones who are enjoying some little from them. And those ones will keep quiet and tell everybody to be calm. Let's wait for court to process the issue. And they know that the court is under the jurisdiction of the contraption. And they are the ones who control the courts. That's why everything is like this. So you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu there, it's not ordinary. It is actually from us, even from the group IPOB. That's where it is. Because if IPOB stands and tell the governors, if you don't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, if they mean not all these press releases, no, all these ones are just propaganda and jumbling, hush posh, and all this nonsense they're doing. Every time they are releasing press, in 2 days another press release, somebody will make broadcast. They are broadcasters and they are social media, influencers will come and say something and they'll keep distracting people. And no, if the DOS is intact as it's supposed to be, just like when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says something, the governors shake. That is how their voice also would have been. Just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will say something, the governors will be shaking. The whole Biafra land will be shaking. That is how the DOS would have been if they have not saw their hands. If they have not saw their hands. If some of them there have not saw their hands. When they speak, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been released because the governors will be shaking. Because they control the grassroots in the communities. They control the grassroots. They would have said something that will cause the grassroots to disobey and something to happen. That the governors could not even, it will be so chaotic that they will not even be able to hold it. And then before you know it, they'll make sure Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. The former Izim Malami who said it. He said the situation in the East has not warranted for any kind of urgent release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I think he said it in 2022 or so. He said because the only way such kinds of things can happen is if the tension within that territory, is actually so high that it is affecting the whole. It threatens, the continuity of Nigeria. They would have acted quickly, but because everything is normal, the right people have been settled. The people, the interested people, the people in control, have been settled. So all they need to do is to come on social media and lay press statements and go and sit down and eat their loot. That's what they're doing, and everyone will be hoping and thinking, okay. And our people also are easily deceived because they like people who come to brag and talk. They like talkatives. They like people who talk too much. Just come and rant on social media. Our people like that. Just come and show up Obi. They like it. That's what our people. So just come and make some statements. They like it. Anyways, I just want to drop this brief this morning. Today, the 27th day, Monday, 27th of January, 2026. I just wanted to lay. It just came into my heart to emphasize on what the things I said last night. And please, I want us to reminisce over these things and reason well. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to be free, but we know that the powers holding him are within us. At the same time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu need the right people to work with. Prepare yourself and make yourself a right person for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when he comes out. Please, all this criminality and all this selfishness, greed and all of that, and gossips and tearing down the other person because you are no more together, or because you are no more flowing, or because you don't align again. You want to tear down, you want to bring down, you keep going around. Hey, man, let's stop this dirty habit. It's childish and dirty. Elderly people, will be talking like children, behaving like children. What will your children do? They also observe you and they'll be like you. We hope to have a generation better than us, but we are doing worse things and they are seeing it because they are on social media, they're everywhere. So they see what we're doing. It's so unfortunate anyways. God will help us. Please, let's get ourselves mentally ready, refined, so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can have the right people around him to work with. And so it will be better than the day before. Thank you so much. Please share this on all your social media platforms. Let people hear this. And also subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed. And also like this video. It is very, very important that we circulate things that will benefit people and increase our chances of knowledge and our chances of freedom. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's morning here, past 8 a.m. You know that your time zone too. You have your activities based on your time zone. God bless you very good. Enjoy the rest of the day.